listen. I've owned maybe half a dozen, possibly closer to a dozen earbuds of various kinds, Bluetooth earbuds. And I could never justify getting, the Apple branded ones because, hey, they play sounds into my ears. I'm usually listening to podcasts, so I don't need great quality. I couldn't really justify it, but I don't think I'm ever going back. I'm not trying to sell you on them. There's a feature that doesn't really work for me. There's a Find My app, and obviously the app is intended for I'm walking down the street and then oops, falls off into the tall grass. Where is it? Go to Find My app, say play a sound. It plays a sound. I can zero in on it and figure out where it is. Problem is, that's not how I lose them, at least not yet. I've never lost them that way. The way I lose them is I'm walking through the house. Okay, I don't do that. But I put it down somewhere and my brain immediately says, information not necessary, dump. And I have no idea where I put it down. And then I'm searching for days. And I go into the Find My app and I say, play a sound. And it says, sure, I'll play a sound just as soon as you connect to them by opening it. So that doesn't work. It doesn't work for that. This is not the only thing I have this problem with. I wear reading glasses and I'm always leaving them somewhere and having no idea. My solution with the reading glasses is, I buy them in packs of 5. They're not that expensive. I'm not going to be doing that with this. Second option, and this is what they recommend, is have a place where you put it. You always put it there. Problem is, I'm not always near that place, and establishing that habit is hard. So my solution is, let's have a few places where it always goes. How do you know it always goes there? Because we print something that it just fits in. So that's my plan. I'm going to have a few of these scattered around the house. This really neat design. I'm going to link to the designer down below. And it's licensed for, reuse, and also making changes, because there's one change I want to make. First let me explain what this is. This is actually both a watch charger. You can put your watch charger in there, and the AirPod charger, and you can snake in the charger cables for both of those. Weighted base with you put pennies in there. I really like that. Now, the one change I made is I tend not to like to do things that are hard to undo if I can avoid it. And this has no hole in the back. So once I've pushed the charging puck in there, it's going to be hard to get out again if I change my mind, if I want to, move to a new design. Maybe they'll come out with version 2 of this. So what I did, drop the STL into Blender, just create a cylinder about the size of a pencil and do a Boolean operation, and voila, there we go. I haven't printed the base for this yet, so I guess I'll use the purple base. Also, check out, this is, I really like the color of this PLA. This is just Hatchbox green. I'll have a link to that down below. But this is purple silk, and I really like the pattern. If this were wood, I think you'd call that chatoyance. It's kind of like that. But I really like this, and I'll have a link to this manufacturer. I think it's TTY3D. TTTYT3D. TTTY3TD. Never mind. But I really like it. Anyway, let's put this together. And I'll use this base, and then when I get the green base printed, I'll just switch bases. It has holes for screws. I didn't pay attention to what size screws, so we'll find out. Got my box of nuts here, nuts and bolts. It looks to me like M3 ought to work. We'll find out. But I also have pennies. That's the other thing that I really like in chargers is if you frequent things that you're like, and I'll put on the place here, I have the group down, sometimes so I get this thing down, it's not more size socket, that's fine. So, alright, these things are pretty. Alright, so the task of zero, okay. If I do assemble that, we need to thread this in. See, this is the neat design. I could totally see myself, if I were designing this, making the hole here big enough for the cable and forgetting you need to pass the plug in. So let's see how this fits. There we go. And just apply. Oh yeah. And it looks like you just pass it up through. So there's a big hole, and then you can slide it over into a smaller hole that's connected to it, and then pull it down, and it will seat right in there. That's very snug. What I don't know is how much I have to play with it to get it to charge. Ooh, not at all. It just lines right up. I was afraid it would be, I'd have to sort of fiddle with the alignment, but no. It just dunk. And then punk. I like that. Oh, that's so, and that's also a good reason why you want to weight it down, because otherwise I'm going to just lift the whole thing up. In fact, that might not be enough weight. I might be gluing it down. So there's channels to pass the chargers out through, and then you can just put it down there. And you know what? I think I might actually like that's Barney, isn't it? That is either Barney or Spike the Dragon, that color scheme. But let's see if we can find the screws. I have a whole collection. Screws, M2s, M3s, M4s. I'm kind of suspecting M3. And guess what? I need my reading glasses. Probably don't need to be very long. That's it. The device. Okay. Please look at M4 really long pieces. This is M3. Here. This is why I'm using. Does that fit? Yep. So this is not using nuts. The idea is that the hole is just close enough that it's going to self-thread. And I think that is perfect. So, hold down. Flip it over while holding it down. The cables kind of want to push it up. Uh-oh. You know what? There is a little bit. That was so dumb. Just want to go over. Totally forgot there were pennies in here. But you know what? I might have put the pennies back in. There's a little bit of filament in there. What do we have? Hold it tight. Flip it over. Now let's see. Is that? Yeah, that's also an M3. This is something I come up against in my own designs, where I make, the recess to hold the head of the bolt, and then there is a shoulder in there, which when you're printing it upside down is unsupported, unless you have supports turned on, but then supports are kind of a pain to take out. what I usually do is put a little bit of a taper in that section, so it's not an overhang. There. And now to test it. Perfect.